Dopest RENegades was good, man. Yo, so Ren and Chris Webby have been very, very busy. They released the rest of the songs for the album. They had an album release party that I heard was pretty lit, man. Big salute to Lisa. And they were doing Q&As and all that stuff. Had a great vibe with the people that came to the release party and all that. It was fire to see, fire to see. And all of us that couldn't make it, they gave us content for us to watch as well, man. So I appreciate all the love and support for everybody. Today we're gonna be checking out Asylum. I decided to go down in the order of the playlist because y'all know what happened with the last show. I get my sources right, so I got y'all this time because I know we already did Madhouse, Instigator, Neurodivergent, and Down the Road, and Bad Company. The next one is Asylum, and then after that, I'll be uploading Me and My Monster and so on in order. So that's the way I'm going to be releasing it on my channel till we get to the end of the album. I appreciate all the love and support from you guys. So you already know what time it is, man. Big salute to Ren Space. We got to stay locked in. Salute to them for always putting in work. Let's get it. Where's Ren at, man? He out in the middle of nowhere.
Dude, there's fucking piss in it down now.
Asylum, the title track, a beautiful, beautiful song. That was one of the first three when he was out doing the Baggage video that started coming together.
Oh, wow.
The lyrics of that song really capture the human condition for me. The hypocrisy of the human condition, but not in a way that's blamey, in a way that acknowledges the hypocrisy of the human condition. It's probably the purest expression of how I feel on a pretty consistent basis, so it didn't really feel difficult, that one.
It's a beautiful piece of music, because those are the
I like how this countdown is a lot different. It's almost like they're letting you know what's going on before it starts and how it makes them feel and what to expect. This is like a really different pace. I really like it. It's very informative.
piece of music, because those are the songs that span generations.
And it's good to acknowledge that we're all hypocrites. And it's really important that we do that to build bridges and find solutions going forwards, because we are ultimately inhabiting this place together, and we all are ultimately the same species, and it's good to have common goals.
Oh yeah, man, I'm locked in right now. I'm locked in, man. They got my attention. This track seems like it's gonna be more serious, and then with a name like Asylum, you would imagine it is, man. So we're about to jump right into it, man. I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready, man. I kind of got chills a little bit, man. Just that 2-minute introduction. Big salute to Ren Space once again. But it just got me thinking, like, yo, man, what are we walking into right now? Or what am I walking into? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's go ahead and check it out, y'all. Let's see what's popping with it.
The preacher sins on Sunday morning. The sheriff steps outside the law. The teachers don't know much at all, and it's all the same. Empires rise and empires fall. As we wander through the darkness, we'll die upon this hill, and the only pill to swallow is the one that made you ill. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving, I'm holding on to still. The doctor is your local dealer. The banker cuts himself a check. Politician you believe in is never around, just empty promises and death. As we wander through the darkness, we'll die upon this hill, and the only pill to swallow is the one that made you ill. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving that hasn't yet been killed. Where do we go when bound by the chains? When the tide gets low, I wait for the wave. Still I learn to let go with hope for change. When the world is an asylum, how do you stay safe? Yeah, the times change, but it's still the same thing, played out on a constant loop. As the wars wage on the centerfold stage, and the storyline's nothing new. While we draw lines in the sand decided by the chosen few, just for something to believe in, anything will do. And we throw spears over counterfeit fears while the kings and queens all watch. Brothers shed tears, but it falls on deaf ears in a land that God forgot. Still we thread hard through the hangman's rope and lose sight of what was lost. All for something to believe in, but was it worth the cost? As we wander through the darkness, we'll die upon this hill, and the only pill to swallow is the one that makes us ill. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving that hasn't yet been killed. Where do we go when bound by the chains? When the tide gets low, I wait for the wave. Still I learn to let go with hope for change. When the world is an asylum, how do you stay sane? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Shalom, shalom, shalom. In the dying of the light, there's a chance to be reborn. Hold on, hold on, hold on. A mother reaches for the needle. A baby's lost before it wakes. Without guidance for the people, it's all the same. Walls are built, walls will break.
Oh man, so that was Asylum, y'all. Man, a whole lot to pack out in this breakdown, dog. We got a lot of stuff to discuss, man. The thing about music that has so much substance and so relevant to everyone today, whether they hear this song or not, it's speaking to everyone in the world. Like how he said in the countdown, we are all the same species. And then you see him with all these different people holding up the lyrics so you could feel them. And then what I like about those is it looks like the person that's holding it actually wrote it. Because when you look at the different type of fonts, it looks like different people wrote it. And I'm assuming it's the person holding the sign, they wrote it with their own twist. You know what I'm saying? It's like through the lens of whatever they've been through and everything, however they learn how to write. You know, like writing and reading and all that stuff, like you could learn about a lot about people from things like that. The way people write, like, you know what I'm saying? I've been told like the way that I write, they're like, why you write that way? And it's just like, oh, well, I'm like really creative and I like to do graffiti and stuff like that. So it just takes a role in the way that I just write my everyday lettering. Like my kids compliment the way I write all the time. But it's great seeing that from different people's perspectives, people writing different things. And then just the lyrics, you got to feel the lyrics, man. I don't know how. Like, I gotta see like a behind the scenes footage of this. Like, yo, man, write down these lyrics the best way you can. You know what I'm saying? Write down what, not what comes to you, but just write down like regularly, and then just hold the sign up, because it's like you're getting a lyrical video, but you're also getting a lot more than that. It's kind of hard to explain. With these videos, they're all so different, but I feel like each one plays on your heartstrings in different ways. So yeah, let's go ahead and take this walk with me, y'all. Let's break this down. And then the opening verse is like what gave me chills. And remember what Ren said in the countdown? He said, we're all hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone is. If you're a human, you're a hypocrite. You change your mind, your belief system changes, your surroundings changes, the way you feel about something before, it may not be how you feel about something now. It's just like we're all the same when it comes to that. Nobody's perfect. So when he starts off with the preacher sins on Sunday morning, it's like, so here it is, the preacher sins on Sunday morning. So it's like, you're not above anybody. Just like when we talk about judges, you know what I'm saying? Judges do break the law, cops do break the law. So how are you going to be the person that dictates the law or tells us what's right and what's wrong? So here it is with the preacher. The preacher sins on Sunday morning. So right before the sermon, you know what I'm saying? Before he preaches, he's already sent, but then he's going to preach about being, a better person, which is really chilling. And then the sheriff steps outside the law. You got sheriffs that do things that are like actually involved in crime, and then you have sheriffs that break the law like a regular citizen does. It may not be a big crime, but it still is breaking the law. The teachers don't know much at all. So now we're talking about teachers. They're teaching and everything, but they don't really know that much. They're going off of a curriculum. A lot of teachers do know a lot of things, but I get what he's saying when it comes to that. He's like, it's all the same. Empires rise and empires fall. Right now, America is an empire, but Rome has fell before. England has fell before. So it's like, it's a cycle. But let's get it.
Preacher sins on Sunday morning. The sheriff steps outside the law. The teachers don't know much at all, and it's all the same. Empires rise and empires fall.
So then we go into the chorus where Rennie says, as we wander through the darkness, we'll die upon this hill. And then it's crazy, like what he was saying before, like just hold on at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, just hold on, just hold out, don't give up. And I love that at the end of it. He was like, and the only pill to swallow is the one that makes you ill. Crazy work. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. And that right there is real right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's in virtual reality, what Ren said was real. You know what I'm saying? What Ren said is very real. And Ren has always been speaking very realistic from the moments he was stuck in that bed and everything, shackled to like his own self. Not being able to get out of the bed. He had a lot of time to think, and he's been putting out music, preaching what he's talking about now. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving. I'm holding on to still. So if it's worth saving, I'm still holding on to it. I'm not giving up, whatever it is.
We wander through the darkness, we'll die upon this hill, and the only pill to swallow is the one that made you ill. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving, I'm holding on to still.
And then she's got like the sad face. Pay attention to these two, man. Pay attention to the lyrics that they're holding up. You just see little things in them. And then you got Ren. Ren's like, the doctor is your local dealer, which is true. He gives you drugs and everything. And then the banker cuts himself a check. So once again, we're showing hypocrisy right here. The politician you believe in is never around, just empty promises and debt. So that right there is like pretty critical, man, because you think about politicians when they come around to get your votes, right? Because I was watching, man, salute to Wayno. Wayno had said something about this, and I was like, yo, that's a really good way to look at it. So it's like, let's say you live in the hood, right? And then politicians come around your hood that you never seen before, right? And then they come around and they're over here preaching, yo, vote for me, trying to get like the people in the hoods vote. And everybody's like, all right, cool. They start throwing like all these functions and these get-togethers and these fundraisers for your community to get your vote, right? And that sounds all cool and all that. It really doesn't, because we don't know where they was, right? And then they finally come around your neighborhood doing all this. And you're like, all right, man, they're stand up. I'm going to vote for them and this and that. And let's just say the election doesn't go their way and they lose the election. 9.8 times out of 10, you never see these politicians in your hood ever again. And when you do see them again, it's because they're running again. But where were you after you lost for the term of, like, the opposition? When the opposition had their run, where were you the whole time? You never came back to check on us, do any fundraisers, none of that stuff. So I like when he says that right there. That one gave me chills. The politician you believe in is never around, just empty promises and debt. I know that doesn't go for everybody, but the majority of them, yes, it does.
The doctor is your local dealer. The banker cuts himself a check. The politician you believe in is never around, just empty promises and debt.
Crazy right there, crazy work. And then Ren's like, as we wander through the darkness, we die upon this hill. Once again, the only pill to swallow is the one that makes you ill. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving that hasn't yet been killed. So he switches it up on the pre-chorus this time. In the first one, he said, there's something left worth saving. I'm holding on to it still. And then the second one, he says, there's something left worth saving that hasn't yet been killed. You know what I'm saying? It's being saved because it hasn't been killed yet. So we have to save it.
As we wander through the
And I believe he's talking about humanity.
darkness, we'll die upon this hill. And the only pill to swallow is the one that made you ill. In this virtual reality, it's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving that hasn't yet been killed.
Yo, man, Ren was preaching up here. Like, where do we go when bound by the chains? And when the tide gets low, I'll wait for the waves. You know what I'm saying? When the tides get low, I'll wait for the good times when I'm in the bad times. And still, I'll learn to let go with hope for a change. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm waiting for change and everything, and I'm being patient. When the world is in asylum, how do you stay sane? When the world is crazy, like, how do you keep your sanity when all this crazy stuff is going on in the world? Like, this song speaks on so many volumes.
Here we go, when bound by the chains. When the tide gets low, I'll wait for the wave. Still I learn to let go with hope for change.
And then peep this right here with hope and for change. And you see how she underlined it right there, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important to her.
Change. When the world is an asylum, how do you stay safe?
And then even here, when the world's in asylum, how do you stay sane? You see this big question. Look how big the question mark is. That's a very big question. That's what I'm saying. It's telling when you look at the font and the creativity of these lyrics that they're writing down on these boards.
Yeah,
So now we got Webby. Webby's like, yeah, the times changed, but it's still the same thing. Played out of a constant loop, so it's the same thing over and over again. It's a constant loop. You feel like you're just going through the same stuff all the time, even though times change. But, a wise man once said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Salute to Josh Sing. But yeah, that right there is real. So it goes into what he's saying. The times change, but it's still the same, played out on a constant loop. As the wars wage on the centerfold stage and storylines, nothing new. Same war, same bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Same narratives are painted, right, in propaganda. While we draw lines in the sand decided by the chosen few. So I'm wondering if these lines in the sands he's talking about is we're talking about from a political standpoint, or we might just be speaking on a moral compass. Just for something to believe in, anything will do. So just for something to believe in, anything will do. Anything will suffice as long as I have something to believe in. And we throw spears over counterfeit fears while the kings and queens all watch. So we're killing each other over bullshit while the kings and queens just watch. You know what I'm saying? Something minute. We take real hostile actions towards it. Brothers shed tears, but it falls on deaf ears in the land that God forgot. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much like we're crying about things, but no one hears us. Still, we thread hope through the hangman's rope. Still, we thread hope through the hangman's rope. You know how it is when it's rope, it's threaded. A rope is threaded. So obviously we're talking about a noose, right? So still we thread hope on a hangman's rope and lose sight of what was lost. All for something to believe in, but what was it worth the cost? That right there is crazy. All for something to believe in, but was it worth the cost? I mean, it wasn't worth it.
Times change, but it's still the same thing, played out on a constant loop. As the wars wage on the centerfold stage, and the storyline's nothing new.
Crazy.
While we draw lines in the sand decided by the chosen few, just for something to believe in, anything will do.
And knows all the hearts and everything.
And we throw spears over
And then you got these two women right here, man. You got the little girl and you got the woman.
counterfeit fears while the kings and queens all watch. Brothers shed tears, but it falls on deaf ears in a land that God forgot.
And then look at his font and everything. It's just showing the diversity of the people with the same message.
Still we thread hard through the hangman's rope and lose sight of what was lost.
Seeing that right there, she's got the hearts up there and she's got the heart up there. It's like you got to feel the lyrics.
All for something to believe in, but was it worth the cost?
Then you got homie right here. What's that? The anarchy? The anarchy. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like you gotta look at like the creativity of these people and the way they write. You know what I'm saying? Like their writing represents them. And it's so wild, man, when you just look at something as simple as words, but someone has to write those words. Someone that's been through stuff has to write these things down, or someone that hasn't been through much has to write these things down. And I feel like it's telling in the font. And shouts to him. He's got the baby with him and everything. It's just like, what was it? What was the cost? You know what I'm saying? All for something to believe in, but what was it worth the cost? Like, what did you lose? My bad, y'all. I can't even get my life together, man. This is real powerful.
As we wander
So now we get back to Ren with the chorus.
through the darkness, we'll die upon this hill, and the only pill to swallow
Not to mention, she's writing in cursive.
is the one that makes us ill in this virtual reality. It's hard to see what's real. There's something left worth saving.
Same thing with her.
That hasn't yet been killed. Where do we go? When bound by the chains. When the tide gets low, I wait for
And I see the waves going counterclockwise and clockwise.
the waves. Still I learn to let go.
And then them too, man. Shout out to them right there. That's why I smiled, man. Periodic table of Star Wars villains. I love this right here, man. This right here was dope.
With hope for change. When the world is an asylum, how do you stay sane?
And then you just got like the pictures of all the people, reminding people that we are all people. We are all human beings. Shouts to them. Preacher, them. And these look like, yeah, these are all the people holding the signs. Yep, the firemen, yep, construction workers.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
And this is what I'm talking about when he's like, hold on, shalom, shalom. Like when he's doing all this stuff, it's just like, no matter what's going on, like just hold on, you know. It's a low tide, but we're waiting for the waves, you know. Right now it's the low, we're waiting for them to come up and everything. Just hold on. Don't tap out. Don't give up. Don't clock yourself out. Just hold on.
In the dying of the light.
In the dying of the light, there's a chance to be reborn. Just hold on. So while your light is dying, it's a chance for you to be reborn. Like you could sit there, things could be going bad for you, and instead of just letting them consume you, you don't even understand you're being rebirthed. From all your adversities and everything that's going on with you, you don't even understand like how your mind is processing all this. Because we already can relate to this, man. All the hard times you've been through, when a rough time comes and you take yourself back to them hard times and everything you've been through, you start to realize, yo, I'm stronger than this. I've been through a lot more than this. This ain't nothing compared to what I've been through. And then you ask yourself, I know what I do personally. I ask myself, Lo, would you want to go back to those times? And I'm like, oh, hell nah. So is this really that bad? Nah, it's not, man. I can go through this, man. This right here is temporary. By the time I get home, I ain't even gonna think about this no more. And you just gotta keep bringing yourself back. But if it weren't for them bad times, you wouldn't have anything as triggering to go to remind yourself to bring yourself back. You know what I mean? And of course, we all got different levels of mental trauma, but sometimes you can use that trauma to catapult you forward instead of being a victim. Be like, yo, why is this happening to me? Think about what is going on. What can I learn from this? How is this going to help me in the future? Those type of deals.
There's a chance to be reborn. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
And then he's like, a mother reaches for the needle, a baby is lost before it wakes. That's crazy right there. Without guidance for the people, it's all the same. Walls will build, walls will break. Without guidance for the people, walls will build, walls will be broken. And that right there is crazy. We just need to all stick together because the thing about it, there's so many distractions going on out here, man. And it's crazy, like just what unites people, right? So y'all remember Pokemon Go? I might have said this in one of our videos before, but Pokemon Go is a prime example. When Pokemon Go was going on, that was the best things that could have happened out here, dog. Like whether you're into Pokemon or not, it's the idea of it. We're out here in different places because we was on Pokemon Go like crazy. Everybody was outside. We're running into people that we would never normally talk to. And it's not because we have a problem with them, it's just the circles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just if it's somebody that's I don't know, like they just seem like they're part of something that you're not part of, you wouldn't even look at them twice. Not that you hate them, it's just like, all right, cool, we ain't got nothing in common. But then when you're all sitting around catching Pokemon, a conversation starts to build around what y'all love. And I notice when it comes to Ren, the Renegades, what he's producing, same thing with Webby, they're producing an audience that comes together from different lifestyles and different nationalities and different creeds and different cultures. And they're all coming together based off of the common love of the music. So then you'll see people talking that normally wouldn't talk to each other in a public setting. But then you'll go to like one of these concerts or one of these pop outs that Ren and Webby have, and y'all will see each other, and you guys all know you're there for the music. Then you get to know each other on a different level. And I feel like the lack of understanding when it comes to different cultures is what creates the problem. There's different propagandas that have been being spread since the beginning of time that are still being spread about different people. And it's fucked up, but people believe it. You know what I mean? Because they haven't been around people. So it's just like when you talk about like when we talk like about people like in different countries, and let's say that you're let's just keep it all the way raw, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it all the way raw. Like when we talk about like September 11th and everything that happened like in Afghanistan, Iraq, and all that stuff, Americans, we were programmed to hate those people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody says. When you look at the news and the propaganda, we were programmed to hate them without even really knowing nor understanding them based on what was put in front of us, right? So it's like, it's one of those things like, I have friends that have been over there. Of course, I know this now, but I'm speaking from when I was a kid. We have friends that have been over there, and then they explain to us what the people are like over there. I've ran into people over here from there, and they're not the monsters that you say they are. It's one of those things where it's like there's monsters everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But to take a whole region or to take a whole nationality or a whole race and look at that race like all these people, these are all bad people. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But that propaganda has been getting pushed since the beginning of time. If you know what you know what I'm saying? So once again, back to what I was saying, when it comes to Ren and Webby, I like how their music is creating a culture and is creating just a buzz of people, a melting pot of people that love the music and can stand up for each other in times of adversity and all that stuff. But I ain't gonna preach for too long. That was Asylum, guys. I really enjoyed it. It pulled on my heartstrings. I'm sure it pulled on yours. But yeah, you already know, man. We're gonna be outside. We're gonna be dropping some more content from Ren and Webby. We're going to cover this whole album. I'm hoping between this week and next week, I should have all the videos out, Lord willing. But yeah, man, y'all protect your peace with your peace. Stay away from negativity and naysayers. Keep doing what you love and keep having fun. Everything will come. Holla at you on the next one. Love you guys. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.